Hello, I'm Allison Davies, Communications Assistant with Regional Tourism Organization 7, and I'm here this morning with Kim Clarke, the Tourism Experience Development Specialist for RTO7, to just catch up with her about the program she offers and give you a better idea of what they can do for you. Good morning, Kim.
Hey, Allison, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah, I just thought we could go over the programs that you do offer. Sometimes when you read through the descriptions, it's a little hard to wrap your head around what they are. So I thought if we talked about it, it might be a little simpler. So
Absolutely.
there's a number of different implementation programs. And if an operator was going to apply, how would they choose which one was the best fit for them?
Well, there's a couple of things. So first of all, you can always call Amanda or myself, and we're happy to kind of walk you through where you should potentially go, or what programs would work best for you. But generally speaking, um, the rule of thumb is this. So if you're looking at building a new experience, then the experience implementation program would be best for you. This one does differ from the rest of the programs a little bit, because it actually requires cash from you in order to make it work, but there are more options available for you to advertise in different ways. But if you have made capital improvements in your tourism business and you want to promote those, then the tourism implementation program would work really well. If you're a festival or you're running an event, then the festival implementation program is the way to go. And finally, this year we had introduced the sustainable implementation program. So if you've implemented any new sustainable measure, and we use a triple bottom line to look at sustainability, so social, financial, or environmental sustainability, then the sustainable implementation program would work really well. And then we've recently launched the operations implementation program. So that's for any tourism business in the region that is wanting to advertise the fact that they're open for business in light of the new COVID situation.
hmm hmm And can a business apply to more than one program or just one?
No, absolutely. And not only can you apply to multiple implementation programs, but we've also done matching with different partnership programs. So oftentimes we will work with Alex Hogan and the image development program, for instance, and then utilize those images that you've developed through that program in some of the ad campaigns that you might set up through one of the implementation programs.
Right, and obviously if an operator contacts you, you would be able to walk them through how to best leverage both programs.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to maximize benefit for you as best we can. So we might have a conversation, or I might have a conversation with a partner, and then, an idea pops to mind, and then I'll kind of take a conversation offline with Alex and Amanda, and we'll try to figure out, what's the best fit through all the programs for you and your business.
Great. And what type of ads have you seen working the best?
With any of the digital ads that we do, generally speaking, video does work the best. However, it really depends on what type of goals you have for your campaign and what type of collateral you have available to you.
Okay. The questions in the sustainability application can be a little bit confusing. Can you just explain a bit more about what you mean?
Yeah, so we want you to start to think about how you can make your business more sustainable. And as I had mentioned previously, we look at a triple bottom line. So, what are you doing to make sure that your business is financially sustainable? So, you're going to be around in the next couple of years. So, are you making sure that you're paying your staff a living wage? Are you making sure that you're investing enough in your business so that you can be around, or you're making smart financial decisions? Socially sustainable. So are you giving back to the community, and what you're doing, is it going to benefit your local community? Because our residents are really an important and integral part of our tourism economy. Visiting friends and relatives is a huge market for us. So making sure that we're keeping our locals happy is going to make sure that you're opening the door for an additional audience when they're visiting friends and relatives come up. And finally, from an environmental perspective, so are you doing something that's going to help to reduce your carbon footprint? Are you helping to reduce garbage? Are you encouraging people to use tap water? So potentially, have you installed outdoor water fountains or water bottle refill stations, that sort of thing, in order to, again, reduce the amount of garbage and footprint as people are kind of traveling. And it's becoming more and more important to people right now. So it's something that we certainly want you to start to think about. And that's really why we've included that question in the applications.
Great. And if someone submits an application, around how long should they expect for it to be until they hear back from you?
We're pretty quick. So you'll generally hear from us within about 7 days. And then, depending on what your kind of goals and timelines are, if we're looking at an implementation campaign, for instance, we could have that up and running in about 2 weeks.
Great. And I know you also work with the Golf in Ontario program. Can you tell us a little bit about what sort of advantages that would have for a local golf course or business?
Yeah, it is a really fantastic program. So we've been working with RTO6. This year we have Niagara, Windsor, and the Bay of Quinte involved in this as well. And this is a program that we had used to market golf to the US and domestically in Ontario. Obviously, we're not marketing to the US right now, but golf is a really big and an important program. More things are opening up in the province, but golf, I think it will continue to grow. It's totally free for any of the golf courses, and we use a consultant out of the US. So Brad's able to book golf trips for you are at your location right away. And we don't just look at golf courses, we look at hotels, and we also look at other attractions as what we call 19th hole activities. So all of those things combine into, a golf destination and a golf trip. So yeah, it is, there's lots of money that's being pushed into it. And it really only requires you to pick up the phone and talk to Brad whenever he calls.
Perfect. I know another offering you have is the Experience Development 101 workshops. Could you tell us a little bit about why someone might want to take one of those or offer one for their operators?
Yeah, it's a really great way to learn about how experiences could benefit you, your business or your community or your event. Could there be a potential to add an additional ticketed item to a festival, for instance, in order to kind of increase revenue and look at that, again, that financial sustainability? We talk to people who've done this before, so you don't just hear from me, you hear from somebody who's actually been through the process and, has had really some positive results at the end. And then we give you a chance to kind of develop and think about what idea you might have. So you get to share your idea with the rest of the people that are there. We've always had really great groups of people and amazing feedback. It's a really amazing atmosphere in the room. So you get to hear, some feedback, and then that will leverage into ED 102, which is a course that you'll take where we actually sit down and actually build out your idea. And often we have marketing dollars to help push that forward and get that into market. So, once you've been through the program, it opens up doors to access additional support from ourselves and many of the municipalities that we work with.
Great. And I know in several of the applications you ask about people's ability to collect postal code data. And I'm not sure people really understand how valuable that is. Why do you want to know if people have that?
Yeah, it is a bit of an oddball question. However, we have a partnership with a market research company out of Toronto called Environics Analytics, and they do all of their market segmentation by postal code. So it is a really powerful tool that we can use. So if you have at least 500 postal codes, you can send them to me, and I will let you know more about your target market. So based, or your target market's neighborhood. So things like demographic information, income, type of housing that they live in, how do they consume media, which is really important when you start to build marketing campaigns. Also, other things that they like to do. So if you're looking at partnering with other businesses around the region or developing a package, utilizing, the information about what appeals most to your current market is a really good approach when starting to think about, who are potential partners that you could look at, and building out what packages might be appropriate for them as well.
There's a lot of value in that one piece of information. It's crazy.
It's kind of crazy, but yeah,
Right,
no, it's really fantastic. And it's all privacy compliant. So I couldn't actually tell you, where one person lives.
right, right. Okay, and I thought maybe just to wrap up, you could just tell us about some of the projects you've worked on that you're proud of or you felt were really successful in the last
Yeah,
year or
we've
so.
we've had some really great ones. I mean, Shannon Wood at the Saugeen Valley Conservation Area has been a really good, great champion for us. She's built a number of different experiences, but her economic, I'm going to say, she revitalized the community of Cargill with
Mhm.
her History Comes Alive, and really, it's built off of bubble gum and duct tape, and the hard work of the volunteers in that community. They've really revitalized that place, and they have an amazing crafters market that happens. And even with everything that's happening with COVID, they're thinking about moving it online, or how do they keep Cargill top of mind. It's a really neat little community, and she's certainly put it back on the map, which is amazing. Another one of our champions is Chris Sherry out of Meaford, and he's a local events promoter. We've done a number of events with Chris. He's doing our From Home music series right now, and he is a delight to work with, and has really put local music on the map. He's
Mhm.
introduced me to so many local artists that I'm blown away with the amount of talent that we have
Yeah.
here around in the community. And so we've worked with Chris to push his events at different times of year, different types of events, different types of concerts, and he's done really, really well. And finally, we've done a lot of work in the last couple of years with some really high-end cycling events and across the region. And cycling is really building in terms of awareness, and the region in general is becoming a cycling destination. So everything from downhill to cross country to cyclocross events and Grand Fondos. So Blue Mountain this year, the town of the Blue Mountain Grand Fondo was supposed to be held this year, but I mean everything's kind of on pause. But even the national mountain bike championships have been held in the region. So highlighting these events, and letting people know this is an amazing place to cycle. The addition of the Great Lakes Waterfront Trail, so the ride will be held here in 2021. It is an amazing destination for cyclists of all abilities and all different types of cycling. So, we're really proud of our work, and how we've helped to leverage and heighten people's awareness of cycling within the region.
Great. And yeah, well, as you said, the events are on pause, but I've seen more bikes here than I have in years. So I feel like when they restart, it'll be an even bigger success.
I know. I hope so too. I think, there are some positives that have come out from the situation and the circumstances that we're under, and, reconnecting with family, and, even on your bike or walking the trails, or, getting out into nature in general has been really one of the highlights of that. I know that is for my family. And I think that we have a lot of those products to offer people when we're ready to invite them to come back.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so if someone were to want to get a hold of you, I'll put the information on the screen. You'll see it scroll by with some email addresses and contact info, but they can feel free to just call, right, and ask questions about the programs too.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, please just give me a shout or Amanda a shout or send us an email. We're happy to talk to you about what might be the best fit for your business and how you can how you can work with RTO7.
Great. Okay, thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Allison.
Bye-bye.
Bye.